my game away. Blow up. We're playing for something, man. We're playing for something. It's gotta mean something to you. It gotta mean something. Everything you got. Everything you got. Let's finish this.
Do it, fellas.
Let's go.
Let's do it, fellas.
Finish 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Finish.
You view this season as a failure?
Oh my God. Okay, because I'm not that up. You asked me the same question last year, Eric. Okay. Do you get the promotion every year on your job? No, right? So every year you work is a failure. Yes or no? No. Every year you work towards something, towards a goal, right? Which is to get a promotion, to be able to take care of your family, to be able, I don't know, provide a house for them or take care of your parents. You work towards a goal. It's not a failure. It's steps to success.
You ready to make history? Come on now. Yeah. You know, there's these two words. And when I say them, people get goosebumps because they know what happens next. So without further ado,
free smoke.
Look. Scared cause I'm drowning in silence with bad thoughts. These days I don't have nothing to say, man, the bag talks. I put in headphones on my driver. Pull up to the spot and give a good dick and Godiva. I can't lie, I'm uninspired. No more pillow talking about nonsense. I only stick around to put some band-aids on my conscience. I don't know why I feel so bad, nigga. That's what we do, no foundation. We don't build no more, we just screw. Half a bottle of Henny, girl, I'm going with the wind. The same niggas say they happy for me, ain't want me to win. So I'm done on my friends. Don't need help popping Coronas and reminiscing. I just call up Big Bro J and say it's time for venting. If I live forever, I hold this hate for some centuries. You don't know how much I have you doing what it meant to me, but motherfuck all that. I don't even offer up the time to make the call back. Stupid Lodo. If they don't get the picture now, man, I crop them out of the photo. I can't relate to my peers. Been doing this shit for years. I'm motivated by fears. I took the wheel and I steer. My sound not dictated by fuck boys in Atlanta. Stay gifted like this album was ghost written by Santa Boss forever, like they decided to throw me under Slammer. Every song's a hit like they picture me underhand as I could drop a million songs, but they never gon' understand us. Soapbox sermons for niggas never giving chances. Fight our whole lives to get these weak ass advances. Work twice as hard for the shit that they getting handed. And this ain't even nothing we chose, nigga, we branded. Still can't tell why all of these niggas mad at me. I'm trying to get 100 so I can put my team on salary. Give it all to the art, man, I turn my life to a gallery. Man, damn, what a fucked up masterpiece. 1,100 shots and I swear, man, I felt them all. If we ain't even good on our blocks, man, who can we call? Pre-decline state of mind, we broke crabs in the barrel. Got us fighting our folk, man, this shit just a life of peril.
Yep. The mind controls everything. Yep. And right now, and I said it at the time, Skip, we can get through a lot of things if we know we got support. He didn't get the support that he needed in Philly. He needed Doc to back him. He needed Joel Embiid to back him. It would have been nice if the fans backed him, but the fans are going to be fans. I don't have a problem with the fans. But within that locker room, Skip, he needed that support. And when he didn't get it, Skip, I say, Skip, it's over. I can read his body language and how he was and how he is. And he knows, Skip, he feels that he let his team down. And he's going to have to compartmentalize because there's a lot of people that go through things. Skip, you and I, hey, everybody sees you and I debating and everybody just, everything is hunky-dory. Skip, no, there's a lot of, you don't know a lot of times that Shannon Sharp go home and because he compartmentalized things going through something. Went through a breakup about 16 months ago, Skip. Man, it's wearing on me.
This is news to me.
Yeah, I know it, Skip. It's news to a lot of people. But as I told her, the mind replays what the heart can't delete. And right now, Ben Simmons' mind can't delete. It replays over and over Atlanta. That layup, Skip, not taking the shot, it broke his heart.
It did.
That those guys wouldn't support it.
The NBA Finals Game 2, it is here. It has come. It has went. I don't know why I started that off with it is here. But you know what I was trying to say. Yo, how is everybody doing out there today? Hope everybody had a dope day. My kneecap itching right now. Can't really explain that to you. It's just a random occurrence. Yo, son, I got court at 9 in the morning, son. Hey, pray that I'm out of there by 10, bro. Or earlier, if not. Because I got to then go to work at 12. So I'm praying I'm out of there early. Because I'm not calling off work, bro. It's just not happening. It's not happening. But listen, how's everybody day, man? Yo, I've never unzipping my Adidas joggers. I never unzipping them before. I didn't know they zipping up this far. That's crazy. They basically go up to the kneecap. That's interesting. But we're not here to talk about that. Listen, Miami took game 2. I would love to say that I'm shocked, but I am not. Not just because I picked Miami to win this series. And if you listen to that, I'm not going to keep going over why I picked Miami to win this series, okay? Now, I feel like I need to because some people who watch this episode might not have watched the last episode. I'm just leaving words out. Might not have watched the last episode. So you might not know that I did not pick Miami to win this series because of my basketball intelligence. If I had done that, I would have picked Denver. I picked Miami for completely different reasons, but I stand by my conviction. You know what I'm saying? I stand on that. I picked Miami to win. And I told you after game 1. I listened to a lot of the different shows. I watched the game myself. And, you know, it was interesting listening to some people's takes. A lot of people's takes were, oh, Miami lost going away. Oh, Miami don't stand a chance. And it usually was something negative about Miami. But I just saw a completely different game 1. And like I said, going into game 2, I thought that the things that Miami needed to do in order to pick up a win in game 2, which I thought was very possible, because it's like I've been telling you since, the first round for Denver. Michael Porter and Jamal Murray can lose you a game. Like, people act as if these two dudes is established at this point in time. I understand that they had some great scoring games. I understand they're in the finals now. Neither of these two dudes, to me, are the faces of Denver. That's Jokic. Neither of the two is the best player in the NBA. Neither of those two players would I take over other players at their positions currently right now. I wouldn't say either of those two players is top 5s at their position. With that being said, everything that I was hearing going into this next game to me was ridiculous. Because people was talking about these two. Like, the most ridiculous thing that I heard was when JJ Redick said he thought Jokic and Murray was the best duo in basketball. And he said he thought that before the season. And, this dude, JJ Redick, bro, I don't care how much y'all like this dude, bro. This dude is ignorant and is condescending as the people that you hate on ESPN. Like, it just is what it is. This morning, this dude took a shot at Perk. So Perkins responded with a shot. And then JJ got offended. Like this, and then accused Perk of making it personal. When he started off by telling Perk, you only get one take right. Like, you got more takes wrong than you get right. That is a shot. But JJ didn't think that was a personal shot. I don't know what it is about JJ Redick, the child in love with. I think JJ Redick is entertaining. He good at his job. But if we finna start acting like JJ Redick, some golden child, some gatekeeper of basketball talk shows and shit, and you can't say certain things because it's gonna get under JJ Redick's skin and all this ridiculous shit. Like, bro, what are we doing right now? Like, and some of the things that JJ, and it'd be one thing if JJ was consistent with, like, and hit, you know what? I don't even think I would have a problem with it if JJ Redick constantly was spitting out great takes for the most part with great reasoning behind the takes and whatnot. Y'all say he do, but I watch JJ. JJ spit out a lot of bullshit, in my opinion. That's why a lot of fans constantly going at JJ. But then you put JJ on the same channel, on the same show with Stephen A. or with Kendrick Perkins, two dudes who y'all don't like. Then it's going to be easy to say, oh, yeah, JJ right about this. And then you play his arguments with Mad Dog Russo, who's a buffoon. And it's going to always make JJ look right. But this, it's like I done said before, bro. It's almost as if JJ Redick feel like he's smarter than everybody else in the room when it come to basketball. It's just this irritating energy that he bring. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's shit not entertaining to me at all. And now I'm going to keep it a band also when it comes to this one. I don't even know if I'm really a big fan of Kendrick Perkins. I do like him a little bit more than I did previously because Kendrick Perkins irritated the hell out of me. Like, he did the same thing when he tried to say Draymond made something personal. Bruh, you literally said his wife was only with him because of money. So that wasn't a personal shot when you said that, but now everything else after is a personal diss from Drake. Like, what? Like, bro, I'm telling you, man, buffoonery on any level, bro, to me is just goofy behavior, bro. And you know what? Kendrick Perkins and JJ Redick at this point to me is just goofiness, bro. But I'm not gonna lie, with JJ Redick, it's a little bit more irritating because I don't know what it is about Kendrick being wrong, but Kendrick Perkins being wrong just, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if when Kendrick Perkins is wrong, a lot of times he'll just admit I was wrong. He'll either tweet it or he'll get on the show the next day and talk about it and praise whoever he was wrong about. It's this thing JJ Redick do when he wrong. Oh man, don't tell him he wrong, because then he gonna bring up some thing in the past that you like. It's just ridiculous, bro. And for some reason, ESPN love this shit, but it's whatever. Regardless of that, regardless of the buffoonish takes from people like JJ Redick talking about how great the best duo in the league being Jokic and Murray. This is one of them situations where Murray's greatness is Murray is great at shot making. I give him that. He's a great shot maker at times. Jokic, his greatness is definitely rubbing off on Murray in the media with a lot of different people, especially with people like JJ Redick, who I feel like trying to be first at everything. Or more correct than somebody who correct about things also. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous, bro. But I told you after game one, Miami need to approach this series in a sense that we are not going to stop Nikola Jokic. This dude is going to give everybody buckets. But it's one thing that he do that we can't stop, and that's his assists that matter. If we stop Murray, if we stop Porter, if we stop Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, if we stop Bruce Brown, if we stop Aaron Gordon. In the first game, you gave Aaron Gordon 12 points in the paint easy. That can't happen. Murray, Jokic, and I said this before, and as great as Jokic is scoring-wise, he can't do for 4 quarters what a Steph Curry, LeBron, Kevin Durant, James Harden in his prime, Damian Lillard can do. And it's not taking nothing away from his game because he still is a prolific scorer. However, because he is going to tire out faster, because he nowhere near as fast as those other guys, because as talented as he is, he's still a center at the end of the day who more of a finesse. He got a, I don't even want to call it a finesse. He is a skill-based player more so than a brute force player, even though he can throw that shoulder at you and, you know, toss his weight around. He cannot get, to me, he have to have a quarter or two to keep that engine going to make sure he don't tire out. Whereas a Steph Curry, LeBron in their primes and these dudes, they can just, you know what I'm saying? They can give you 60 points by the end of the game. Murray, I'm not telling you that Jokic can't give you 60. He can. But the way in which those dudes could give you a 60 piece is different. And I know it don't make sense, but it makes sense. But with that being said, I thought you had to turn Jokic into a scorer. His primary thing, he don't want to score first. Jokic know he can get a bucket on anybody. He know he can shoot the three. He can shoot the mid-range. He can do the floater. He got the post game. He know he got an immaculate offensive repertoire. Jokic wants to pass the ball first, though. His offensive repertoire is so pristine and so refined. He don't need a 1,000 touches and 1,000 shots. He want to make sure everybody else get going, because he know if everybody else get going, then we can't be stopped. Because as soon as those dudes start to hit a little slump, now I'm scoring. And then they back at it. If you're Miami, the way you win this series, and maybe it don't work as far as winning, but the way you make this a competitive series, no, I don't agree with that, because it was going to be a competitive series in my opinion anyways. The way you win this series is to make most of the games, 4 of them to be exact, Jamal Murray and those dudes cannot go off. Jokic can end with 40 points. Obviously, you don't want to let him. If you could prevent him from going off, you would. But at this point in time, I don't see nobody stopping him. Like LeBron said before, how do you stop him and Curry? How do you stop Curry? Like the way you stop me. You don't. That's how I'm feeling about Jokic right now. However, Miami's defense, it's not even about Miami's defense being good enough, because the stats will probably say Miami's defense wasn't better than Milwaukee's or LA's, or who cares? This is why I always consistently talk about watching the games. Just call what you see. I was watching that show Speak, which still is a terrible show. But shout out to Joy Taylor and Shady. Even though Shady says some dumb shit sometimes, as does Joy, I enjoy both of them because everybody's takes can't be perfect. I have dumbass takes, but I was watching that show today, and I despise Emmanuel Acho, and I really don't care for Skip. I'm not Skip. For Rick Bueller. I was watching that show and I was watching how they was talking about Denver. Basically, they still thought Miami didn't have a chance to win and whatnot. And I'm like, man, some of the things that y'all say on these shows is just ridiculous. Rick Bueller said, like, what did Denver have to wake up for in game 2? The fact that a championship is on the line, something that none of these dudes on this team, that's the leaders don't want. Obviously, KCP don't want one. But the leaders the core of this team has never won a championship. Like, what are we doing right now? What are you talking about? What do they have to get up for? Like, bro, it's crazy that you would rather discredit Miami by saying that type of crap than just saying Miami played great enough. I told you in this series that Bam Adebayo, well, I done told you for the last 2 years, Bam Adebayo changes things for Miami. If he play great, Miami going to be in every game. If he play like shit, then Miami losing that game more than likely. And it's games where Miami find ways to win games where Bam play like shit, i.e. Game 7 of Boston, because Jimmy Butler can just lift all ties at points and times throughout these playoff series. But Bam Adebayo, I told you, his defense on Jokic would be completely different from Anthony Davis's defense. And it's even different in a way I didn't realize at first, but I realized after last night. For one, AD do not run as much as Bam was going to be able to run. Now, whether that have to do with AD always being hurt, whether that have to do with Bam being a younger, more youthful dude at the moment, I just knew Bam was going to be able to run more so than AD would be able to do. And that affect a lot when you're able to run and continue. The biggest thing, though, because I really want to get to this. I noticed when AD was getting cooked one-on-one by Jokic, eventually they just took him off of Jokic. And I don't think that was just the coach's decision as much as it also was a piece of AD not wanting to guard somebody who cooking him like that. Let's just find another way. And, hey, I'll get these cheap blocks by playing off of him, letting somebody else get cooked, and I'll just come in to help. And that's a smart play defensively as a team for a while. But I said that would not end up working. Because at the end of the day, if you want to stop him, if you want to have a chance of stopping him, AD going to have to figure that out. Look at Miami. Bam Adebayo does not give a damn how many times he gets scored on one-on-one by Jokic. He continued to take that challenge every single time because he understands what that do for his team. He understands ultimately what that does for as far as winning. And so when you can be as egoless as Bam Adebayo, and I know I give Bam a lot of shit, but the fact that this dude is as egoless as he is, to be able to get cooked by Jokic and still step up for that challenge every play. Like, I'm not leaving him. Don't switch me off of him. We not finna do that shit that LA tried to pull. We doing it this way because this will end up working more. And it is. The only problem that I had really thought at game 1 was the fact that you cannot play that small lineup with Aaron Gordon on the floor. And they fixed it by bringing Kevin Love in. Now, I didn't say, shout out to Kendrick Perkins for saying that they should put Kevin Love in the game. I would not have suggested that. Maybe I did, actually. If I suggested that, that's crazy. But I wouldn't have been mad if they didn't for the simple reason. Bro, there's not too many players who I done seen play worse than Kevin Love in the NBA Finals just off of the eye test. Some nerd will probably bring up a whole bunch of fucking analytics that don't matter to try to tell you why Kevin Love was decent in the finals. But my eye test told me every single year they was in the finals, if Kevin Love had been what he was in the season, they would have won the NBA Finals. Kevin Love, it's special to me how bad he was in the NBA Finals on a yearly basis. However, I like the move of he hit some shots. Kevin Love did this thing where he rushed a lot of shots and they just a complete flow of misses. And I always wonder to myself, like, bro, do this motherfucker have a conscience right now? Do he have a game plan as to how to get back on track, or is he just gonna keep jacking up bad threes and not settling and not setting his feet and all these other type of small mechanics to go into him hitting shots and shit? Or is he just gonna keep pulling bad shots right now? Not even bad shots. Is he gonna keep missing shots that he should be making? So shout out to Kevin Love, because he had a huge part in that win. But the key to Miami, in my opinion, winning this series, they have to continue to do what they did last night. For one, Miami's defense, to get back to it, when you have Bam, who can guard all 5 positions on most nights, at least gonna make an effort to guard the dudes that's bigger than him anyways. And with him understanding I'm gonna give up points, that just is what it is, but I'm not gonna never not take this challenge. That's over half the battle right there. I told you, defense is an effort type of thing. And the fact that Miami players play defense effortlessly, that's one of the things about some teams with defenders that play great defense. When you got a team that play great defense, but they got a lot of dudes on the team who not really big name players, they can be egoless at the moment. You do end up, I think that's a good way to bring up a great player, because then they take that with them the rest of their career, and the NBA see that ultimately, like teams, and you get jobs for it. So that is pretty dope when you see teams do that. But usually it's teams who have a lot of players who not the big name players. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to the teams with the big name players who can still get them to buy in defensively. But when you look at how effortlessly and egolessly Miami play, it make a lot of sense and this is why I was comfortable picking Miami. You didn't think they was going to win none of the series they done been in. They won every single one of them. Boston should have been the proof. I know that was a wonky series, how they won the first 3, proceeded to lose the next 3, blew them out in game 7. Who would have thought? I mean, honest to God, it's one of the most ridiculous series I've seen in my lifetime. I don't remember the last time the road team won the first 3 games, proceeded to lose the next 3 games, and then closed it out on the road. Like, I do not, in such a dominant fashion. But I told you, game 1 to me was more so Denver was missing shots more because of rust, whereas Miami needed. Game 1 was still a semi-rest game in a sense. I know it's the finals. I don't want to say ridiculous shit like that because that's some dumb shit they would say on TV. But it was Jimmy. It wasn't a rest as much as they still needed at least another rest day, because like you said, you playing in Denver, the high altitude that everybody make a big deal about. And they just got done playing in the game 7, and I understand it wasn't competitive towards the end because they won by so much. But, mentally you got to be up for that type of game. It's a game 7. You was just up 3. Regardless, they needed. I felt like game 2 would definitely be a winnable game, a stillable game for Miami, because it wasn't game 1 at the end of the day, coming off of what they came off of. Plus, if anything, Miami done shown that they are phenomenal at adjusting. I think it's 2 teams in the NBA who done proven that they are great when it comes to adjustments as far as a head coach, and that's Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr just made great adjustments throughout an entirety of a series. It's probably why I get so irritated when people try to steal credit from Steve Kerr and place it at Mark Jackson's feet, because Mark Jackson, for one, is nowhere near the head coach that, and I'm saying all this respectfully, because I think Mark Jackson a good head coach. He ain't Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr is a phenomenal head coach. And for the people who out there who say, oh, well, he got this and that, he got this player. Every great coach in the history of the NBA had talent. I never hear people call Popovich out for having all the talent he had. I never hear that. But for some reason, people love to go at Steve Kerr, Steve. What's buddy's name? Phil Jackson. Like, I don't never hear people go at Red Auerbach. But like, y'all, it's confusing to me. It's very confusing. To me, the coaches that you should be calling out is the ones who have the talent and seemingly can't win with it. The Mike D'Antonis of the world. I mean, have you seen the talent that he done had on his team? Kobe. And I could put in context all these dudes, but I'm not yet. But Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire, Boris Diaw in his prime. Sean Marion. James Harden, Dwight Howard, Kobe Bryant, Pau Gasol, Dwight Howard again. Like, This motherfucker done had some teams, bro. So, and I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting some more great. Chris Paul. I'm pretty, like, come on, bro. Stop it. Stop it. But I got off on a tangent right there. But listen to me. For the people out there because I'm looking at people say they still don't believe Miami have a chance in this series, and that's just insane to me because most people say, as much as I don't really like the saying, the series start when the road team win. Bro, y'all people in the media love saying that until it just don't fit y'all narrative because, well, that's what y'all do with everything. But now that don't suddenly matter. That's what I'm saying, bro. It's no consistency in the media. The only consistency is the consistency of idiocy. It's ridiculous. It's something of a virus going around sports media. But listen, am I guaranteeing you a series win for Miami just because Miami was able to go into Denver and win? No, Miami could lose the next 2 games in Miami. I don't think that's going to happen, but they could. They could definitely split it. Listen, this is why I have confidence in Miami. Denver's defense is not great. It's good. It ain't great. That's why Miami getting a lot of 3-point shots. Miami didn't hit in the first game. They hit in the second game, along with still playing good defense. One of the things that Denver going to have to do is stop bitching about non-calls and calls that they don't like every single play. Like last night was ridiculous. Jokic complained on almost every play. Murray, Porter, like everybody complaining about plays. And this is a team that's never won an NBA championship complaining like this. Like it's I understand the people who say this shit look bad on TV. How often players complain after every single. Like, I didn't realize how bad it was until I was watching Luka last year and this year. And I was like, wow, Luka really do bitch after every play. Like, I used to get at people for constantly saying that. Like, man, Luka always crying after. But then I watched him. I had already watched him, but I just never paid too much attention to that. But then I really was paying attention to it. And I'm like, damn, this man do cry damn near after every. He is like going hard right now for these fouls, bro, or non-calls. And I wonder all the time to myself, do basketball players want the game to be called? Because if you're going to say let us play, you cannot then proceed to bitch about calls that they letting you get away with also. Plus, like I said, do hoopers really want the whole game to be just fouls? That's crazy. But like I said, Miami's key to victory is they have to make the game tough for the others. The game got to be tough for KCP. The game got to be tough for Michael Porter Jr. The game got to be tough for Jamal Murray. It has to be. And I understand that the media look at Jamal Murray right now and they talk about him like he, Damian Lillard or Steph Curry. And I know some people are like, well, Dame never got to a finals. Dame also ain't never had the Joker on his team either. So you can shut that shit up right now. But I understand people look at Jamal Murray right now and they overhype him, respectfully. He done accomplished, he scored a lot of points, but I think the thing is you saw LA and you said which I just want to point out as a Laker fan, going out to all you LeBron fans who keep saying you Laker fans, but you really just LeBron fans. LeBron led Lakers could not pick up a single fucking win against the Nuggets. Boston down 3-0 picked up 3 wins against Miami. Miami picked up a win against Denver. So, like I said, one of the reasons I pointed out that Adebayo egoless thing is because I'm a firm believer no win was picked up because of how AD decided to play defense on Jokic, how they decided collectively to play defense on Jokic. And I can't help but think this condescending, we okay with losing game 1. We figured them out and proceed to lose the next 3 fucking games. These Laker fans, not the Laker fans, the LeBron fans disguised as Laker fans constantly bitching about, Mike Malone got our head, rent free in our head. Who created that term? That's the most overused phrase I done heard. And it's constantly incorrectly used. Motherfuckers be wrong. And somebody getting the gloat about them being wrong. And they be like, I'm living in your head rent free. What are you talking about? That's not how that work, my boy. Like, it's like every time somebody get to be wrong about something, they cop out as, I'm in your head rent free. No. I was finna say something. No, my boy, you wrong and you're stupid. And I don't like you for constantly using that dumbass phrase and not using it correctly. Stupid. You ain't gonna get the chance, stupid. But listen, shout out to Miami, man. Shout out to the big dumper, Kyle Lowry, hitting some big shots last night. Shout out to Robinson hitting some big shots. I get really irritated when Duncan Robinson missed threes because your job is to hit threes. Don't fade out as quick as Steve Novak, bruh. And I see people saying, well, you know, can Miami keep this up? I don't expect Miami to hit 40% plus from the 3-point line. But it's a lot of things that they did that they can maintain. And just like in the first game, it's a lot of things that they did in the first game that they can correct. Bro, the games is not just set in stone, bro. It's always things that you can correct and get better on. It's a constant game of adjustments. That's what the game is. You win one game, you expect the next team to win because they adjust. You expect to win that next one because you adjust. That's just how this thing go. These is high-level teams who went through gauntlets to get to the NBA Finals. I know in today's society, we love to make excuses as to how easy it was for certain teams to get to the finals. But this is a battle of attrition regardless. And I take nothing away from the teams that got there. So shout out to Miami for picking up. Gabe Vincent, shout out to him. He done been phenomenal in both games. I know I done gave him a lot of hell too. Max Strus had a better shoot and a far better shoot. Now, obviously it's better because you hit a shot. But shout out to Max Strus. Jimmy Butler hitting big shots. Bam Adebayo playing his ass off right now. Just a huge performance by the Miami Heat to still win in Denver. And I'm seeing people say, oh, you know, Denver still had a chance to win it at the end. What? How does that matter after they've lost? Like, why are we talking about shoulda, woulda, couldas after they have lost? The urge. I know you felt it. The urge to take credit away from Miami is ridiculous. But with that being said, I appreciate y'all for joining me on another episode of Kicking It with Saint. Tell somebody you fuck with them. Tell somebody you love them. You can be anything in the world. Choose to be kind to somebody today. Saint out.
I got the moves like hot sauce. Lil' mama taking the top off. I'm laying down getting topped off. After this, you know she getting knocked off. I know she loving the money, so I keep on thumbing and thumbing. She say she horny when she taking shots, so I keep them coming and coming. Now I'm putting dick in her tummy, scoop her up like I'm raking the summers. You would think shawty red track, the way that she running and running. You getting dumber and dumber, you out here chasing the bone. After she finished from giving me dome, the Uber is taking her home. Tight.